Hello, hi, how are you? How are you? I hope everyone is good. I am wonderful. My name is Charles. Welcome to the show. Welcome, welcome. Hope you've had a good week. I just want to say something to some of you that are homophobic, especially some of you Nigerians, some of you Nigerian women that I pray for you that you get married to a homosexual that will cheat behind your backs with men in your matrimonial home, in your matrimonial bed, disrespectfully, and that you give birth to homosexuals, to lesbians, because that is what you deserve. That is what you deserve. For someone that is homophobic, who does not like gay people, who does not like LGBTQIA plus individuals, that is my prayer for you, because you think that someone being queer is something that is evil. I will never, ever, ever understand for the life of me why a woman will be homophobic. If anyone is going to be homophobic, it shouldn't be you, a woman. You should understand. I don't understand why some of you are so wayward. And the worst part of it is that you lace it in your religious beliefs. You weaponize your madness towards people. I have never really read the Bible like that. But one thing I do know is that the Bible says that God is love. Christianity is love. Religion is love. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Some of you are so wicked. It boggles the mind. Normally, I don't really get angry about things. I'm not really angry, but it needs to be said. I get to receive a lot of insults on social media, and that does not really bother me. But for the first time, past few days, I have been suspended on TikTok Live twice. The first one was 2.5 days. And now this one is literally almost 8 days. I am still thinking, what did I do? What did I say? And I just can't see anything that I did. Aside from some of you that are homophobic, that are reporting, your priorities are misplaced. I am not your problem. Queer people, LGBTQIA plus individuals are not your problem. We are living our lives. We are minding our own business and slaying in our lane. You lot are evil. And you use Christianity and religion to cover your wickedness. Just say that you are a wicked person. Stop using God. Stop saying the blood of Jesus. Stop saying God forgive you. And all of these things, it doesn't make any sense at all. You are a wicked person. You are a wicked person. I have said this so many times on so many occasions that the most wicked people you can come across is in church. They are religious. They call themselves born again Christians. They call themselves pastors' wives. That's how they will go to their churches. They will gossip about Adama, Peter, Paul, Stephanie. They will gossip, they will connive. But you call yourself Christians. You call yourself that you go to church. Some of you, your husbands don't even know who the father of the child is because you've cheated on them with your reverend fathers, with your pastors. And you are here trying to judge people that did not do anything to you. God created everyone in their own image and likeness. That is what your so-called Bible said. Some of you are fucked up. You are absolutely fucked up, and you are going to end in the bottomless pit of hell that you always tell queer people that they will end up in. Let me tell you, I don't fucking believe in heaven or hell. I don't believe in that. I believe in doing what is good. I believe in the golden rule of humanity. Be kind, be good to people, be non-judgmental, show empathy, compassion, love thy neighbor as thyself. Whatever happens when you leave this realm, leave that to happen. Because some of you are working towards the kingdom of God, but you are so evil. Can I tell you something? You already live in hell. You live in hell. I am going to say this to a lot of African people, not only Nigerians, the ones who are wayward. You know yourselves. You are suffering from religious psychosis, and that is not a good thing. The number of times I get to look at people who are supposed to be doing meaningful things about themselves, trying to better themselves. You should go and better your life. Your priorities are misplaced. Whether you insult queer people, call us names, tell us that we are going to go to hell, that will not change us. Someone that is gay, whether you insult them or not. That person is still gay. Somebody that is lesbian is still a lesbian. A trans woman, a trans man, gender non-conforming, non-binary, pansexual. That person is still going to be the same. Why? I'm asking you, why do you have to always be violent with your religious beliefs? Why do you have to always weaponize your bullshit? I feel sorry for some of you. I feel sorry for some of you because I am going to tell you, it's coming from a place of love. You need help. You need help. You're not okay. You are not well. I have spoken to people who will come and say, oh, gay people suffer from mental issues. You are an blah, 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 nonsense, yada, 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 yada. Bullshit all the time. I can smell a gay man. I close my eyes. You are around me. I can tell if you are gay. I can tell the way you speak to me, the things that you do. No matter how you claim to be manly, if you are gay, I will see you. I will know. Some of you who come on TikTok lives and Instagram lives and YouTube lives and social media everywhere to insult gay people, trying to absorb yourself that people are not going to know that you are gay. My dear, I can see right through you. You are wayward. I am not your problem. Your internalized homophobia is something that you need to go and work on. That pastor that is taking all your money from you, that told you that it is bad for you to be gay, that is somebody that you are going to, that is the person that you should be fighting, not me. I have peace of mind. I'm okay with myself. I just wanted to get this out of the way. Yeah, so yeah, it's been amazing. I've had a really, really nice time. Aside from this nonsense, I just wanted to make it clear. This is what representation looks like. Let's get into today's topic because this is something that is really, really important that affects a lot of queer people. And we never really, really talk about these things because sometimes we try as much as possible to act a certain way to fit into whatever environment we find ourselves. We're going to be talking about code switching and survival. How do you navigate your queerness in public and in private spaces? How do you do it? Do you try to be someone different when you are around certain types of people? Or are you yourself when you are with anybody and you don't care? For me, I went through a situation in my life where I was code switching, where I was trying to be somebody that I'm not to fit in into a particular space. And this is something that a lot of us as queer people have done. Sometimes you may try as much as possible not to dress the way you're supposed to dress, not to talk the way you're supposed to talk, not to say certain things, not to act in a way where people will begin to think that you are gay or where it makes them uncomfortable. Before I forget, I just wanted to say thank you so, so much, everyone that listened to the last episode. You know, it's just something that I am really, really appreciative of. Okay, what is code switching? What does it mean to code switch? What does it mean? It can be defined in so many ways depending on how you understand it. In a layman terms, literally, it's you trying to adapt to a particular situation. So if you are someone that is so gay, yeah, so you're like, yeah, you go to a workplace or environments where you are with people, you try to fit in. If it's your dressing, you may want to change it. You just literally are making yourself small to be able to fit in. So the act of code switching actually is the act of modifying. I'm so pissed off and I am biting my tongue again. Code switching is the act of modifying language, behavior, or presentation depending on who you are around. Can I say that again? The act of modifying language, behavior, or presentation depending on who you are around or who is around you or where you are, your environment. So, some people who, for instance, let's use Nigerians and Africans as an example. So, a lot of us like to speak broken English or pidgin English. And as soon as you leave the environment where you are, you change the way you speak. Even some of our people, you go to certain places, you change the way you talk, the way you speak, the way you act to be able to work better in that environment. This happens in life in general, not only to queer people. This happens. You just want to be able to be palatable to people. So if you are proudly gay and you are flamboyant, you try as much as possible to tame yourself and just to fit in. And that is something that can be mentally tasking. That is something that is not easy for a lot of people to do. This is something that happens where we as LGBTQIA individuals try to navigate different versions of ourselves to stay safe. So if you want to be accepted and be safe, you have to code switch. Let's use Africa and Nigeria as an example. A lot of queer people that I know in Nigeria try as much as possible for people not to know that they are queer. That is an extreme version of code switching. Literally, if you are effeminate, that is even more difficult because some people, no matter what they do, you will know that they are gay. And those are the people that are always in danger. If you are someone that knows how to move away from your feminine energy and you put in your masculine energy, it will be a lot easier for you to code switch. But for someone who is inherently feminine, or you are a lesbian and you are masculine presenting, that will be a very difficult thing for you to do. This is something that a lot of people don't really think about. I know a lot of people that I have met over the years who do this perfectly well. I have said this story before. There was one time I went to somewhere and this person's father was all up in my business. The man wanted to sleep with me. He did everything. And let me not lie to you, his children, his wife will never, ever know that he's gay from the way he acts. His wife maybe will suspect because it's obvious, but I'm just saying. But once he was with me, talking to me, my dear, everything came out because he was more comfortable around me. So literally, for queer people, we get to not be comfortable in so many spaces and we have to develop different versions of ourselves to be able to be safe, to stay safe and be accepted. I code switch all my life with my family, with my siblings. That's why they never suspected. Maybe they had an idea at the earliest stage of my life. Maybe they did. But eventually I was able to pretend and cover things up, the things that I liked, the things I will normally talk about. Like I used to always say to women, oh my God, you look fab, you look this. I stopped doing all of those things because I wanted to stay safe. I wanted to be in my siblings' good books. And this is something that a lot of us need to think about. You need to find a way, depending on where you live, for you to be able to navigate with no problems, for you to be able to stay safe. I have chatted to a lot of Nigerians who have written to me and said to me, oh, this is difficult for me because whenever I'm working on the streets, I'm going to somewhere, people are insulting me, calling me names, and they are not able to change anything about how they look and how they present. And that can be really, really mentally tasking. That is hard. That is why sometimes when I discuss some of these topics, it's really, really emotional. It's hard to always constantly think about what other people are going to do to you, how you are supposed to be safe, what you need to do to be able to navigate and not get anyone to harm you. A lot of these homophobic people don't actually understand that it is not easy to be gay. If you are in a society where people hate you. One of these guys yesterday on TikTok Live who was talking to me and speaking to me how being homosexual is something that is influenced by your environment. And I'm looking at him. I said to him, do you know that there are people who live in villages who have never met gay people, who live in very, very extremely rural areas, and they are lesbians and gays? Do you think they learned it from anybody? Some of you don't have common sense, I swear. Why do we code switch? Why? I think I have explained some of it, but why? It is for survival and safety. To simply say, this is the thing. It is for survival and safety, especially family pressure, religious expectation, workplace workplace dynamics, and public safety concerns. Because if you don't code switch, this is where you are putting yourself in danger, especially if you live in some certain wayward societies. Let me give you an example. Someone like me, now, if I'm in Nigeria, there is nothing for me to code switch about. Even if I pretend and try not to dress, because you can dress and not act like a woman and people will think you're gay, right? But because my face is out there, everyone knows I'm gay. No matter what I do, even the ones who always say to me, oh, you're pretending to be gay, you are not gay, you don't look gay, or you're this, because people just have so many things in their head when they want to move mad, right? But for someone like me, I won't be able to do it. But if you are someone that is not that is not known somewhat, I'm not saying that I'm known because I'm not known, but I feel like on social media, some Nigerians know me and some African people, right? I don't know how well I'm known, but let's just ride with this. Because of that, I won't be able to code switch. Because no matter what I do, someone is going to recognize my face and say, no be that gay man why I see for TikTok, no be that gay man why I see for YouTube, no be that gay man why I see for Instagram. You know what I mean? So the reason why is that there's a lot of religious expectations, family pressure. And one thing that is so dangerous is the ones that are religious, because once they find you, they can be the most wicked people. And family pressure as well. This is why a lot of people are forced into getting into marriages, because they want to comply. They want to conform. I say comply. They want to conform. The emotional toll of hiding or downplaying queerness to avoid judgment, violence, or rejection is so horrible on you mentally. Because if you are code switching, God, if you are code switching, you are not yourself in most cases. And not being yourself is something that is so mentally exhausting and tasking. Because I want to always be myself. I want to always be myself. I want to be able to express myself. I want to be able to be around people and not try to hide that I'm gay. As someone who has done this over the years, I remember one time when there used to be fitness first all over the place before pure gyms and the gyms and all of these budget gyms came into play. I went to this fitness first on Mosley Street in Manchester. And this guy from Senegal saw me the first time ever. He doesn't know me. We have not spoken before. But because I'm a black man and he's a black man from Africa like me, he just felt the need to start asking me some very weird questions like, how is your wife? How is this? How is your children? And I'm like, why are you going to ask me that? You don't know me. How? He didn't even ask me, how are you? He didn't ask me that. We did not have those conversations. The first thing he did is, how is your family? And I said to him, no, I don't have a family. This was the time when I was telling people that marriage is antiquated, because I didn't want to tell them that I'm gay. I said to him, no, I'm not married, and marriage is not for me. Marriage is antiquated. And then the way I reacted to him, he stopped asking those questions. I feel like a lot of our people, because of the way we behave and the way we act towards queer people, makes queer people not to be themselves and try to pretend to be able to adapt. We are always adapting to society, trying to be somebody that we are not. And that can be mentally draining. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. What you should be doing is try as much as possible to cultivate friendships that allows you to be yourself. Those friendships can be where people, where allies and things like this, for you to be able to have some form of sanity. I swear, God, my God, I keep getting text messages. I'm going to reply to them later. So living in a dual world, which means, like, how do I explain this? If you are where, there is where and there is accepted spaces, right? Where versus accepted spaces. How are you going to be able to know this? Does that make any sense? So you are living in a situation whereby you are queer, and then it's you being queer versus the spaces where you are accepted, and then the queer spaces is there for you to just be queer. And this is why I like creating the communities that we are creating. We're going to just look at how, when you are code switching, how this impacts your relationship, mental health, and identity. What normally happens in this situation is that you really get conflict in your identity. Your mental health starts to suffer. Your friendships start to suffer because maybe you know people before that are straight, and all of a sudden you are thinking, am I able to be myself around these people? And this is one of the problems I had all my life. That's why majority of the friends I had growing up, I'm no longer friends with them. Because as soon as I became really comfortable with myself, I did not really need to code switch anymore. So I became myself in both spaces. I'm myself in the queer spaces. I'm myself when I'm with people that are not gay. And some of them, it was uncomfortable for them. It was too much for them to take. It was too much for them to take. And I always say this, it's not my problem that you felt the way you felt. I did not do anything wrong. It's just your homophobia that is in play. The reason why I got to a point where I no longer want to code switch was that it became a problem for me mentally, because I'm always constantly thinking, oh, how am I going to present in this space? How am I going to do this in this space for them to just not think that I'm gay? And I'm always constantly battling within me how for people not to know that I'm gay. And that is mentally tasking. You are always in this mode where you are thinking, do they know? What am I going to do if I go to these places? I don't want to be myself here. And let me not lie to you. You don't want to be friends with people where you are walking in a eggshell, where you are like tiptoeing, where you are careful. It's like you're walking on eggshell. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be friends with people who you are always careful of what you want to say, how you want to express yourself, where you cannot fully be yourself. And that was a major problem for me. I remember when I told this story, one of my friends, I came out to him and he was like, oh, I'm no longer going to see you the way I saw you before. That is the problem a lot of queer people are very, very afraid of. The fear of rejection, the fear of your friends not seeing you the way they saw you before. Because of this, you feel like you've been ostracized. And for me, as someone that is extremely confident and comfortable with myself because I have done all the work, I expected that to happen. And as soon as they said no to me, I just was like, never. And I will never, ever, ever be friends with this person again. That will never happen. Maybe I can be cordial if I see them out and about. That's it. I'm not going to be friends with them. Maya Angelou said, if someone shows you who they are once, believe them. A lot of the times we forget about the disconnection that can happen when you are never fully yourself in any space. When you are never fully yourself in any space, you tend to not be in tandem with the situation. You tend to not fully enjoy anything that you are doing, because having that disconnection when you are never fully yourself in any one place is horrible. Because what you have is like your spirit is like up, down, middle, left, blah. It's like everywhere. You are everywhere. Your mind is always racing. Your thinking is always up and down. This is why I know, coming from me, because I don't do this as much as I should, my man does it really, really well. He does it excellently. He does meditation every day, no matter how busy. No matter how busy. Instead, he will wake up early and do it before he goes to work. Or if he doesn't do it before he goes to work, when he comes back, he does it. He does yoga. He does all the mindfulness. He does them to get himself to feel some form of sanity. And this is why sometimes when I react to certain things, the way this man will just speak, and I'm like, why are you not flustered? And I'm flustered, but I have control. But boy, He is so controlled and like he will tell you, oh, it's like this. And I'm like, thank goodness I have someone like you in my life. This is something that we fight with all the time. So find a way to be able to not find yourself in a situation where you are conflicted, where you are having this disconnect, where you are not sure of who you are anymore because you're trying to do ping pong, ping pong. You know what I mean? We need to find spaces where we can be fully us as queer people. Find spaces where you can be fully you. That does not have to only be queer spaces. And this is what I have done for myself. I'm now in a situation whereby I can be myself fully around the people that I know, that I have cultivated friendships with, that I no longer have to code switch. I can be myself. I can say slay. I can say, man, look at me, girl, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I use this gender non-conforming words and things like this because it doesn't matter. You can say I'm so gay in their presence and they won't judge you. You can say I'm such a queer and that will be fine. They will love you no matter what. Whether you are poor, rich, broke, dressed like a man or like a woman, they wouldn't care. That is what you need where you are loved. I have always said this. Never ever go to places where you are not wanted. Don't go to places where you are not wanted. For example, two of my brothers stopped speaking to me. I don't want to go to that space anymore. There was a time where when I wanted, but I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. And why I brought this up is that I'm trying to explain to you that there is value in you creating a space that is so good for you to be comfortable and thrive. The value of queer safe spaces, chosen family, and online communities is something that a lot of us look down upon. That is why I got really, really angry that my TikTok live was reported so many times. It's not really about me, but it is about somebody that really is enjoying to come to these spaces to know that they are not alone, that you are not alone, that you have people like you, for you to be able to just see, okay, let's be queer together. Let's just have this safe space together. And this is why it's really, really annoying to me because I have always said this to some of these homophobic motherfuckers, pardon my language, to some of these homophobic mofos that this space is not for you. This space is not for you to consume. You have your thumb and you can scroll past. What you are doing is that you are ruining our space for us, and we don't want that. Try as much as possible to find your own chosen family that allows you to be yourself. Reclaim your authenticity in small ways, even when you are in a coded environment. You don't have to fully not be a queer person because that is something that doesn't come natural to you. You are going to be queer no matter what, but you can just release yourself and be yourself in small doses if you feel like the people are going to be uncomfortable. I think that actually, for me, what I have done is I have tried now. That's actually a bad thing. But for me to say for you to just try to release yourself in small doses for people, no, don't do that. Be yourself loudly, actually. If someone is not comfortable with you being yourself, that person is not supposed to be around you. Only if it's in a workplace and you are scared of losing your job, or if you are in a country where it is dangerous for you, then you shouldn't just be loud and be flamboyant and live your life. Aside from that, if you are in societies like the UK, like Europe, America, Canada, and all of these places, Australia, where you can be yourself, even in workplaces where you feel like people may be uncomfortable, you can still release yourself in small doses because in these countries, there are rules, there are laws, there are regulations. If someone moves mad and bully you, they will be accountable for that. The company can be sued for homophobia. But when you are in countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Gambia, and all of these places, Uganda, South Sudan, then you have to be very careful on how you lead your life and the things that you do. I just want you to know that you need to create a safe space for yourself. Even when you are making friends with people, be it online or anywhere, be extremely careful what you do and where you go to and the things that you get yourself into. Even if someone is chatting to you on a gay dating app in Nigeria or Ghana or anywhere in Africa and they promise you everything, don't go to their house. Don't do it. If you are in Nigeria and you are working somewhere, try as much as possible for them not to know that you are gay because of your safety. When you get back to your house or you are in safe spaces, you can be gay and be flamboyant as much as you want. I want you to not stop your self-expression in the best way possible, but do it safe. Affirm your identity. Who you are is okay. It's okay. I feel like a lot of times, we tend to make ourselves small just to fit in. Don't let homophobia win. Don't let wayward people win. We are winning. We are unique. We are amazing. I want you to know that we are in this together. This is a community. Nobody's going to stop us. We are queer and unfiltered. We are LGBTQIA plus Africa. We are LGBTQIA Nigeria. We are love. We are unique. We love. Love is love. Don't make yourself small. Always know that your queer identity is valid. You don't need permission from anybody. You don't need acceptance from anybody. Don't be ashamed. Be yourself. But be careful in the spaces where you do that. I have been Charles. Thank you for listening to this episode. Make sure to write in if you have anything to contribute or you want to talk about something to info@myownKindofWrongway.com. I will see you in the next episode. Love is love.